had to record a little bit of weather over the weekend because we had this weather event, this thunderstorm warning, which is pretty rare, I think, in March. But you can see how much the rain is coming down all of a sudden. And very quickly this happened. I realized in last week's vlog that I was talking about Mr. Roberts and I forgot to show my copy of Mr. Roberts, which again, highly recommend this movie. This is the Warner Archive release for Mr. Roberts, and you can see Henry Fonda. I forgot to mention also James Cagney has a great part in it. William Powell is great in it, and Jack Lemmon, I was just reading on the back here too, won his first Academy Award for the movie. And this one has some special features on it, commentary. A scene-specific commentary by Jack Lemmon, which is great, and a theatrical trailer. So, highly recommend this. As you know from the channel, probably that I love Warner Archive, and I'm always looking to add to my Warner Archive collection. And so, if you have any recommendations for Warner Archive, certainly let me know in the comments. You can always do that. You can see I've got quite a. I'll just move back here too, and I can show that we've shown this before on the vlog, but we moved all of the Warner Archive up to the top of this shelf, and it really goes from here, these, the top of the shelf here, and then these two, the second row basically down here, and then the Kino Lorber starts over here. So anyway, just thought I would show that because I forgot to show it in last week's vlog. It is Tuesday. Or as my theater teachers used to say, it's Tuesday. You have to say Tuesday in a certain way. I always remember that because when I was in college. Yeah. This is not all about college stories, but I'm just saying, like when I was doing more theater, they would always correct me because I would say Tuesday. Tuesday. Instead of Tuesday. So I'd have to practice that. But it is Tuesday. And the Criterion 50% off flash sale just started. Oh my goodness. I thought, because what happens is, if you're a Criterion Channel subscriber, often you'll get a coupon in your email. So you kind of know that that's an indication. They usually send that out. I think they sent it out over the weekend or late last week. Yeah. And so I'm just shopping a little bit on the Criterion website. There's a lot of pressure though. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pressure. It's a 24-hour flash sale. So there's a lot of pressure. And I know what I'm going to get. I know already at the top of my list, Crossing Delancey is at the top of my list, which you and I both watched on the Criterion Channel when they had the romance movie feature. In February, yeah, last month. And classic movie from 1988, Joan Micklin Silver, who is also known for Chilly Scenes of Winter and some other things. I don't think she made a lot of films, but she should have made more films because these are great films. But this has, I've talked about this on the channel before a little bit when we watched it, but it's from 1988. 97 minutes, that's a good length for a film, as we've said before, yeah. 97 minutes. Peter Reigart, also very good in it. Amy Irving is good. It's a great little romance movie and kind of a slice of life of what it was like in New York City in 1988.
It's very good.
It's very good. And so that's at the top of my list. I was so excited to see that get released.
It has a nice cover, too.
It's a nice cover. Nice artwork. You and I were, maybe we mentioned this on the vlog before, but you and I were talking about how we're watching we're doing some art appreciation in the morning sometimes when we're having coffee. We're watching the artists that develop some of the Criterion covers and do other things on the Criterion channel.
The YouTube channel.
On the YouTube channel, which is nice to see. So we've been watching those, and so that's what we're doing today in the office, among other things. It's a little bit warmer today. Yeah. Feeling a little bit better, which is nice. And you had a question, I think, not for the viewers, but for me.
Well, because I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to practice getting into this mini podcast, like collecting information during the week or here and there, so that I have something. We have something to talk about for podcasts.
Yeah.
because I think we're getting closer now that we did last week's impromptu
mini podcast.
So I was looking at Threads, and someone mentioned that Pride and Prejudice is coming back to the theaters. I think it's like Keira Knightley, like Colin Firth. I think that's.
Is that 1990s or 1980s? From the 1980s.
I guess I have to look it up now.
Or the.
But it's coming back to the theaters, and the person talking about it was talking. Yeah, it's okay. It's Keira. I think it's the Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one, and yeah, it's coming back to the theaters. So their point was that there is an online community for this film because people love Pride and Prejudice, and
sure.
It's all pining and hand touches and glances, and it's all very sweet, and and so their point was that the theaters are not like advertising, like hyping it up to make it a real event like they should.
Yeah.
And this person knows someone who works at a theater and was asking them about it, and the person said that the theater chain said they could only show it on 2 screens, and it was like it's a very limited like run. And their point
they can only show it on 2 screens because they didn't think it would be popular enough to show on more screens.
I don't know if it's like because it wouldn't be popular or because they only have like permission. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's because it wouldn't be popular or because they didn't have permission to show it on more than 2 screens. But this person was like, my internet following, this is like an author.
Yeah.
They were like, my internet following, I probably could get people, I could sell it out probably. Like they could sell it out if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
So I guess I wanted to talk about that in terms of, there are other things we talked about, like the Jaws 50th anniversary showing that they're showing and stuff. So I guess the topic I want to talk about is, why do the theaters like tiptoe into making an event instead of like leaning hard into making it an event? Like, why don't they have like a better social media campaign for it? Like, why, like, because we've seen like reviewers on TikTok that get to go to advanced screenings, they have really great reviews, like they, like there's a lot of hype and buzz because of them.
Yeah.
So why aren't they trying this, like, as we talked about, kind of like a retro throwback, like make the theater an event? Why aren't they like trying harder?
I mean, I think specifically because they don't know whether it's going to be popular in that area. Like when we were talking about the Jaws 50th, the only place we could go to that Jaws 50th thing is the Alamo Drafthouse in Boston, probably be the closest one we could go to. But they're not going to do that around here because they don't know how popular it is. But in the city, in a city like New York or Boston, that would probably be a popular event to go to. But if they were to do like Pride and Prejudice here, you and I would probably go, but who knows? Who else would go? I mean, I don't think they have any way to gauge how popular it would be, other than if you're in a bigger city, it's probably going to be a popular event because it's something new and unique to do.
Right.
But we would have to go to Boston if we want to do the Jaws 50th thing.
Very true.
So, and I would love to see that here. We have a little theater here, literally called the Little Theater.
Right.
That's close by.
Well, I guess it brings up 2 things to me. One is, so what you're saying is they more need to lean into the pre-sale, like pre-order angle. Yeah. To say, like, buy tickets. If there's enough tickets that are purchased, we'll put this event on.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then you also could have like, then you could encourage, maybe you would give like a free pre-sale to like an influencer or a viewer or something, so that they could hype up the event, because like, come on, we got to get this thing going, we got to sell it out so we can all go see the film, sort of thing. Also, it reminds me of other special events that we've been to before. Like we went to see, I think we saw
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park was in the theater. We saw Jaws in the theater. Yeah. I think we saw something else, but I don't remember what it was right now.
Yeah, and maybe if you're watching the vlog, let us know in the comments what you think about this topic too. Because I would love to see more specialized events, or even we saw some things that are, maybe they have an event that's associated with a charity. So maybe all the ticket, like a portion of the ticket sales will go to a certain charity or a certain, they're fundraising for a certain, thing that's happening in the community. That's also a way to get more people out, maybe. But in general, I would love to see that. I mean, I'd love to see older movies like Casablanca or The Godfather or whatever that I haven't seen in the big theater. Of course, I've seen a lot of 70s movies in the theater, but maybe something I haven't seen from the 30s or 40s. I don't know. I think that would be a fun event to go see, and certainly there are screenings of those things around. And there is a theater that is near us that might show older films, but
well, I guess I also think about the fact that like Barbie was so exciting.
It was such an event, yeah.
It was such an event, so there are people that are willing to go see something if it strikes just right.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it also makes me think about, we've looked into, I think we were going to see 2 different movies in the theater this year. We've looked into it, and the time slots and the theater choice have like deterred us from going.
Yeah,
because
true.
We were going to see, we thought about seeing the Captain America movie, which wasn't reviewed very well.
So the reviews kept us away, really.
So the reviews kind of kept us away, but
which the reviews shouldn't either, because as we know,
right,
sometimes things get bad reviews and we like it.
Right, that's true. That does happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think it also like had a nice time slot that we wanted to go to.
True.
And then what was the other movie we were going to see?
We wanted to go see Mickey 17.
Mickey 17.
Yeah, but then that also got some bad reviews.
It didn't do so well.
I feel like they got mixed reviews. So
I think so.
Let us know if you saw Mickey 17 and what you thought of it.
But I wanted to see it in like the big theater,
yeah,
for lack of a better term, like the big salad, the big theater, because I think that it has a better screen. When we saw Barbie, I liked it better because the theater was bigger and had a better screen than when we saw Dungeons and Dragons, which I did really like. Dungeons and Dragons. But the screen distracted me because I could tell that it was like kind of worn out.
But in a couple of months, we've got Superman coming out. We've got the Jurassic Park movie. We've got all these other summer movies coming out. Maybe that's going to get people a little bit, a few more people back to the theater.
I mean, we would have gone to see Mickey 17 if it was going to be in the big theater, and it never was.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things, very quickly come to streaming services, and then we have a couple of them that we can watch. I think we'll probably watch Wicked, which we didn't see, which is coming to Peacock at the end of the week.
Right.
And I'd be interested in seeing that. I haven't seen it, but I think...
I guess I'm just a little bit sad because as much as I would like the theater to have a revival, I just kind of think it's like going to the movies,
Yeah.
And I just feel like maybe it's just not going to happen.
There's just, the thing is people are very busy, and so sometimes maybe they don't have time to do that, but they have time to screen a movie at home, or maybe they're, they're buying the movie at home, or they're renting the movie when it comes out, and they've got a screen at, in their house that's big enough. We have screens here that are perfectly fine for us. It doesn't have a big sound system.
I mean, I know, like we were watching the Mission Impossible films. We would watch.
Oh, that's right. Mission Impossible film also coming out in May,
and
right?
It was dark, and it was so dark in our house, and our TV was nice, and we could eat our popcorn chips and have a nice time.
Exactly.
So I mean, I miss the nostalgia of going to the theater.
I do too. I think it's just not the experience that we're interested in anymore because of a lot of various reasons that we talked about on the channel before. And so, but I'm open to it. I'm open to maybe going back, over the summer.
And I guess just going back to this Pride and Prejudice thing, it says right now it's going to be in the theaters a little bit, but it's also on Netflix. So, I mean, I think some people are like, I already pay, $25 a month for Netflix.
For Netflix, yeah.
You're like, I can watch that movie every day at my house, and I don't have to go to the theater to do it.
But I think also, maybe you're meeting with fans of the, whatever the Pride and Prejudice. If there's a community for that, then it's nice to maybe, maybe you have a friends meetup or something at the theater, something like that, so that it becomes an event that you can enjoy. So, but I think that's a great topic. I was going to say too, the reason we're doing this little bit of extended, I mean, not that we don't do these office segments all the time, but the mini podcast idea or the podcast idea is we would have a podcast, I think, but it would be on YouTube. It wouldn't be. I don't think we would have it on Spotify or anything else. It would just be this kind of our live stream format, and we would have a few topics, or maybe we would get some suggestions from viewers on what to talk about. So we're just kind of trying this out. Let us know what you think about it. I know with the vlog, the current vlog's only been up for a day. You can comment on that video or comment on this video and let us know what you think. But we're thinking about doing this because we spend so much time talking about media and talking about movies and TV shows in the office that we thought we could just make it a regular thing. So we'll see what happens. We're trying it out.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to try it out.
We do some research about media, and it's harder, I feel like, to talk about what's happening if we aren't doing a consistent live stream. So True. I guess this would be like, instead of having a live stream like every week, we would have, maybe we collect some information. And also because, you know, we spend all our time together, like I think like we literally do spend all our time together.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to kind of collect information and then have some surprises to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, oh, see, did you know about this movie? And then like, you know, we talk about it for the audience instead of just rambling to each other all day.
Yeah, and I was going to say too, I got at least one comment. One of the YouTube channels I really like a lot now is called 80s Made. I was just looking at it, 80s Made Consumer, and I think he mentioned that he listens in the car sometimes. So we're trying to do a little bit more of the podcast style, just for people that may be in their car. Maybe they're listening in their car. I don't know.
Or in headphones.
So it's hard to do.
You know,
yeah, it's hard to maybe get into detail, on some of these topics when the vlog contains maybe some, nature footage and other things that I'm showing. So I'm trying to describe things a little bit more. So if people are listening, they can hear what I'm, it's obviously hard to see that in the car.
Oh yeah, right? Like we'll show like the turkeys or the deer, and there's nothing there. So it's just the video sounds empty, right?
Right. So sometimes if there's a gap, we're probably showing some footage of the deer outside, the turkeys outside, or some birds, or the sky. We could say this is the sky. We could do some voiceover to say.
Insert sky footage here.
Insert sky footage here, exactly. So, but.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say is that the last time we had a podcast, we were talking specifically about the details of a film. And because films are kind of evergreen, it's kind of hard to do a podcast that talks directly about them because we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But we also want to, get into it.
Sure.
So this is a way to chat.
It's a way to do that. And if there's any suggestions too, let us know of something you want us to talk about. I feel like every week I'm into something different in terms of the TV shows and films and whatever we're in the mood for, whatever I'm in the mood for. If you're reading and I'm watching a movie,
because we go from like we're working on a film project together, like when we're watching all the Mission Impossible films, or before that you were watching the Criterion feature and I was kind of dipping in and out.
The romance movies and stuff like that.
So now we're kind of in that like dipping in and out phase where like you'll watch a movie and I'll decide if I want to see it or not, or I'll listen in the background. Yeah,
I have to decide too. One of the things getting back to the Criterion sale, which is again 24 hours, 50% off on the Criterion website. If you have a coupon, you're very lucky to have a coupon. So I'm probably going to use a couple that I think I got a coupon, so I'll be able to use my coupon.
If you're
how many times can I say coupon?
If you're subscribed, if you pay for the Criterion channel, I think
you're going to get a coupon,
you one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm still not all in on the 4K. I love 4K, okay? And I have some 4Ks that I've shown before, but I typically will save some money on these sales, and even when I regularly order it and just get the Blu-ray, depending on the price. But in the case of Crossing Delancey, the Blu-ray is $20, and the 4K with the Blu-ray is $24.
Oh, yeah.
I guess maybe I will get the 4K in this particular case, but for some, especially when they're regular price, I'll get the Blu-ray because I don't really need the 4K for that.
And surprising to me, I'm becoming a 4K digital snob.
You like the 4K stuff, yeah.
I mean, sometimes I can't tell, okay, but other times I'll watch a movie and I'm probably getting annoying about it because I'll be like, I wish this was clearer. I just wish it was a little crisper.
Well, we've done those checks sometimes with even on I realize the 4K in a 4K player is going to be different than whatever you're streaming. If you're streaming
right, but
UHD
you can still
or 4K,
tell the streaming difference.
You can tell the difference.
They're not always better.
Yeah.
Right. Like we were watching Spartacus, and I feel like in the beginning when you first got Spartacus on digital, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, Spartacus, the colors look.
And
really
then
good
we sat down to watch it the other day, and I was like, is this 4K? And then we went into like this whole comparing things, and then eventually I was just like, I don't like how this looks.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on the movie, but I mean, do I need a movie like Crossing Delancey in 4K? Not necessarily, you know what I mean? Because I can't really tell the difference.
Well, but I guess you have to look at it like this, if you pay $20 for the Blu-ray, for $4 you can get the 4K.
You can get the 4K, and you're getting the Blu-ray also.
Right, that's what I mean.
So you're getting the 4K.
You're going to pay $4 extra for the 4K disc versus like you're getting the Blu-ray extra. You know what I mean?
The other thing on my list is Winchester 73 with Jimmy Stewart, but I'm also not sure because I also was looking at the Aki Kaurismäki Proletariat trilogy, which is a an Eclipse series that I don't have, and I don't have a lot of Eclipse sets either. These are DVD sets too, and I already have those movies on Blu-ray and the other box set that I've shown, the Kaurismäki box set that I have. But I kind of want that. I kind of want that though.
Well, the Kaurismäki box set isn't Criterion.
It's not Criterion, exactly. It's not Criterion. So and I don't have a lot of Eclipse sets. So that's my dilemma today.
And the Eclipse sets, do they have like little thin packages?
They have thin packaging, and sometimes you have to be belly band. You have like a belly band. Yeah, you have to be careful when you pick them up because you could, if you got to hold them very tightly so that's the dilemma for today. Not that it's a big deal, but I think I'm leaning more towards because I can always get Winchester 73, which I already have, and another sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like the Eclipse sets maybe go out of print more often.
They might disappear, right? So
collection pieces. I don't know.
So anyway, those are our thoughts, and
if you want to hear a podcast, let us know.
Let us know again. Again, give us some feedback on this vlog or any vlog, really.
Well, also, I guess we should say that if we have a formal podcast, it may get more professional looking.
It's possible we might
my silly face.
Yeah, which we've said before. You don't necessarily like to be on camera all the time, so that's why I'm on the camera. But you're here in the office.
Well, if they promise to only pay attention to me like half the time, I think it'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
But we might actually get some more equipment too. If we started to think about that, is to maybe get another setup and maybe do a formal podcast with microphones and things like that. We're just using the phones right now, basically.
Right.
So we're thinking about it, and if you'd be interested in that, great. We might get into talk about other things too, and not necessarily all film and TV, but entertainment related things, or
I think we probably
news that's happening maybe.
We probably try. I just thought of a topic would be things because we just watched a Criterion Closet video, so maybe we'd have one topic might be Criterion Closet, and it'd be talking about like the videos and the recommendations, but then also could be like what would you pick in the closet, or how do you because when I watch those videos, I'm always like, do they have any out of print ones in there? Like I would would you have a list? Like that would be a whole thing to talk about.
Yeah. I still would like to go to the mobile Criterion Closet, the Criterion
van.
Yeah, the truck? Criterion van.
Does it have a formal name yet?
I don't know, but I think it's traversing the country. I know that they brought it to South by Southwest, I think. So
I just never know what to call it.
It's funny. I know you're on your computer there now too, but I'm still. I know the CC40 set, that Criterion 40 set is. People were talking about that as kind of a money grab for a Criterion. I still kind of want it though, and I have a lot of those movies, but I like the packaging. So at some point, that's on my list. But this is a great time to get a box set, to pick up something that's 50% off. If you've been interested in a box set, there's plenty of box sets outside of the CC40 set. If you're new to the Criterion collection, the CC40 set might be a good starting point. There are some great films in there, but I have a lot of those. But there's other box sets too. There's the Bergman box set, the Fellini box set, the Godzilla box set. There's a Bruce Lee box set, but then there's also some mini sets that you can get too with multiple films in them.
Like 3 to 5
films that you can really get the. So it's a great time to do that. But as I'm sitting here, I'm watching the clock tick down on.
Oh yeah, I see that.
On the
website.
We only have 20. How long we have? 23 hours now and 28 minutes. Which is there's some time pressure there.
You can buy the mini
mini van.
Yeah, but
is it 50% off?
They call it the Criterion Closet Candy Car.
Oh, okay.
And it's $25.
Is it 50% off?
It is not 50%.
No, it's not 50%. Oh.
Because the 50% off sale is 50% off all in stock discs.
In stock discs.
Not pre-orders.
I thought you could do pre-orders, but I think that's only for Barnes and Noble, maybe.
I don't know.
I could be wrong, but
I'm just reading what it says at the top here.
Yeah.
But I do like that in the store they have My Criterion Closet Picks canvas bags that you can buy for use at your house.
Yeah, I was also thinking too that the vlogs might actually turn into a full, because I think we've talked now for over 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So
see, look at this. It's got all the directors. It's got directors on it, and then on the front it says My Criterion Closet Picks.
But do they give you that if you go into the?
I don't know, but you can buy it. It's $35. It comes in yellow, blue, or red.
Red, yeah.
You know, it'd be great for your groceries, and for your library picks, library borrows, and
so yeah.
So if you like this, let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because eventually too, and maybe as we get busier over the summer, over the spring and summer, maybe we would do more of a podcast style thing, and then that'd be great for people that are listening only.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think it's good. Like, I'm glad we're including it in the vlog to see if anybody is listening. But I think because of the things we talk about, it'd be nice to get it out sooner, because you're not hearing this until next week. The sale's already over. Yeah. Like, who knows what's happened in the time we recorded to putting it up. So if we made our own podcast separately, the turnaround time would be a lot faster.
It would be a lot quicker, right? And I didn't really do a formal video, as you probably will, could tell if you're watching the channel too. I didn't do a formal video on flash sale picks, because I've done a lot of those, but I am doing some shorts. I did a short this morning just to show a little bit more of the collection, because any movie that I have, you can see the Criterion hallway. This is my Criterion shelf over here behind me. Any of those movies I could recommend, because they're all great. And any movie I would love. I was thinking the other day too, going into the sale, if I could have all the Criterion movies, I would get them. There's something great about every one of those releases.
Yeah.
But I, it's hard to do that. I mean, they have there's over 1,700 releases, I think.
Yeah. Or that was the interesting part about, we just watched the Carrie Coon closet video, right? And the interesting thing is, I think she's probably like the first person to go in the closet and say, I have all of these, because my husband bought them all.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to pick.
Her husband is Tracy Letts, right?
Right. So she's like, I live in a home with all these Criterion films. Yeah. And so she highlights a couple, and then she pulls a couple off, because she's like, I want to give these as gifts. I want to have a backup, and that was interesting. Yeah, but most people don't have them all, because
she got a couple of the new ones though, because if like I said, if Tracy Letts didn't order them already, which she probably did, because a lot of these are just on standard pre-order,
right? Whenever
they come out.
Well, and I think that their pre-order, the way part of it, like, it bothers me a little bit, because it's like they release like one new film a week, but I think that's really great, because you get one new film a week. That's nice. So while it's not great for shipping, you probably would get 4 in a month. It's nice that you can have one new film every week of the year.
Every week, if you wanted, yeah. We should say too, if you're listening to this, or if you're watching the vlog, if you don't like the podcast, let us know too, because we're close to 30 minutes now.
So we can just ramble to ourselves, and save you the hassle.
Yeah. So, and maybe we'll put a little, survey out or something on the community page for this. But
I'm sure in the vlog I'll put if you want to skip the podcast,
you can skip it here. You can put there's be chapters in there, which we don't always do. I think it does it automatically on YouTube many times. But anyway, that's the little ramble for today. I hope everyone's having a great week so far. It is Tuesday. Let me just pronounce that correctly again before we close it up. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Thanks, everybody. One of the many things I like about this time of year is these lights. The sunlight starts to show up on the wall here, different from the winter light, and it just really starts to look beautiful. There's more sun, and we're seeing more signs of spring. It's still going to get cold here in the next couple days probably, but we're getting a few warmer days here, which is really nice, and not as much snow on the ground, and hopefully warmer weather coming soon. I just got an email from Indicator, which is a company that I really like from the UK, and I noticed they're releasing this version of Carnal Knowledge, which is not easy to get here in the US, and this is one of the Mike Nichols films that I like. It's a great film, and it's nice to see that it's getting a release of any kind. I think even if you wanted to get it digitally here, at least in the US, you can only rent it, so you can't even purchase it. And it's a film I've seen before, but it looks really great. It looks like $25. You can pre-order it. This film is from 1971. It's 98 minutes. Again, I'm a big fan of Mike Nichols, and of course, Jack Nicholson is in this. Art Garfunkel and Margaret gives an amazing performance in the movie. There's a little description of the film here on the website, and then these are some of the special features here. So we have Mike Nichols and Jason Reitman in conversation from 2011, an archival video recording at the two filmmakers on stage at Walter Reed Theater in New York. There's Cruel Masters from 2025. Actor-comedian Richard Ayoade provides an in-depth appreciation of the film and its director. Image gallery, new and improved English subtitles, limited exclusive booklet with a new essay by Brad Stevens, an archival interview with director Mike Nichols, writers Jules Pfeiffer, and actor Jack Nicholson. It looks like this is limited edition of 8,000 individually numbered units, 5,000 4K UHDs, and 3,000 Blu-rays for the UK. And it is a Region B disc. But I'm just so happy to see this film get an additional release. It's one that's been on my wish list for so long. The packaging looks great. And again, I'm a big fan of Indicator UK. All right, I'm going to keep this short since we already did a long Office segment earlier in the week. Or maybe it could have been yesterday. We just watched the trailer for the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and
the teaser trailer.
Oh, sorry, the teaser trailer. Yeah. Now there's a teaser trailer, so there's a little teaser which is like 20 seconds, and then they say the trailer's coming next week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I use this website called Cigarettes and Red Vines. It's just news for Paul Thomas Anderson film fans. So we watched the trailer, which was pretty crazy, with Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm interested to see the full trailer. It was a 20-second teaser to entice you. I'm just reading off this website here, too. Variety confirmed 2 long speculated but previously unofficial pieces of information. It's no longer untitled because previously, this is the first time I think it's gotten a title within the last couple of days. One battle after another. It's going to get released on September 26th. It was originally scheduled to be released on August 8th. And there's a little bit of more information, too, that as if you're a Paul Thomas Anderson fan, you know that he did a movie called Inherent Vice. This looks to be based on another one of Thomas Pynchon's novels called Vineland, and the runtime is about 3 hours. So I'm interested in it, and I'm interested in it. And it looks like the reaction online, there were a lot of views, and people seem to be pretty positive about it because Paul Thomas Anderson hasn't had a movie out in a while. So what do you think? I know you're thinking it's pretty dystopian and pretty violent.
But I don't think it, my problem is I don't think it is dystopian. I think it's probably realistic. And I don't know that it makes me think of like that film Civil War.
Oh yeah, right.
And I don't know how I feel about it.
I mean, it kind of looked like it had a little bit of the vibe of Inherent Vice, which I did like. A lot of people didn't like Inherent Vice, but I thought that was really good. And it's, kind of a different style or different pace of, filmmaking.
It's kind of like a meandering story, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. But of course I love those.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's sort of like Big Lebowski, but with like less structure. Yeah, exactly. And there's some fun moments in it. So we'll see what happens with this one in September. I also think it's a little bit tricky for me to separate Leonardo DiCaprio from Killers of the Flower Moon. He has
true, yeah. He's got a similar look, yeah. But of course, we only saw the one shot in 20 seconds, But...
It just reminds me of like the poster for Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, true, yeah. He's got the same look. I think though there was one shot in the trailer though where he had a longer beard. I think there's one shot of him in the road. He's standing in the road and he's got a longer beard. So maybe that's just like the one shot.
20 seconds. You don't really get a whole lot of what's going on. But I don't know that the trailer will tell you that much more either.
I don't know. Hopefully the trailer's longer than 20 seconds. And that's it for today.
Saturday. And we went and got some coffee, iced coffee, for the weekend. We're just driving this morning.
Yeah, it's early. We decided to go out. And last night we were watching, or yesterday even, we were watching Wicked because it was on Peacock. And we only watched about half of it because we were having some streaming difficulties with Peacock or with the internet or something like that. But I really liked what I saw so far.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I like it as much as I do.
Yeah, we weren't really sure how we were going to react to it, but I love the performances so far. I love all the musical numbers, and it seems to have a good pace. Maybe a little bit slower in parts, which I think was one of the things when people were reviewing it. They said that was a little bit long.
Yeah.
But we're really enjoying that so far. And then the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is we were on Fandango at home now.
Yeah, we always look for the deals. They have like weekly deals and holiday deals and stuff.
Yeah, and so we noticed that, and I actually thought maybe it's a mistake or something, but there were 6 Martin Scorsese films for $12.99.
Yeah.
And of course I have a lot of these too, but some of them are on DVD still. And I realize, and there's been a lot of talk online about this too, about how, if you buy a digital copy of a film, you don't own it. They could pull it at any time. I get that, understand that. But $12.99 for 6 films, I thought, wow, that's amazing. So we got The Departed, Goodfellas. I think what else did we get? The Aviator, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which is one of the ones I have on DVD. That's in a box set, a Scorsese box set. And I hope that gets a Blu-ray release, maybe a Criterion Blu-ray release, but for right now it doesn't have that. And I forget what else was in there. The Departed. After Hours, The Departed.
Aviator.
The Aviator, yep.
Goodfellas, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Yep. And maybe it's 5 films. I can't remember whether it's 5 or 6.
I can't remember the last one.
But anyway, what a great deal that is, and a lot of times it's just good. It's good to have the films on digital because it's convenient, right? So you can watch.
Yeah, sometimes they're not on streaming, so as much as it's $12 or $13, one of those films costs $10 to $12.99 anyway.
Yeah, and since we really don't go to the movies right now, we're not going to the theater. It's a good option just to pick up some films that maybe we'll watch a little bit more at home. And also they're HDX too. So even though I have the DVD of Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, these are in HDX, which is nice. So that's what we did. Again, this is early Saturday. We didn't really. I don't think we filmed much yesterday, did we?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So hope everyone has a great weekend, and or a great week, because this vlog will be out on Monday.
That's right.
And we'll talk to you soon.
We just got back and we were looking at the Scorsese bundle, and there are 6 films, and we couldn't remember Mean Streets. So the 6 for $12.99 were Goodfellas, The Departed, Aviator, Mean Streets, After Hours, and Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And those were on Fandango.